have you all here. This reminds me of a story about John F. Kennedy, who once assembled all American Nobel Prize winners for a dinner in the White House. And when they were all sitting there, he said, "This is the greatest concentration of intellect in the White House since Thomas Jefferson used to dine here alone." And this is how I feel about this room. So it's good to have you here talking about this very important subject. So just some of you know me personally, some do not, so just a few words. I'm a hardcore computer scientist. I spent the last 35 years of my career doing research on automated reasoning, and to be very honest, thinking kind of little beyond that in some sense. And in 2011, I had kind of a big jolt because, if you may remember, Watson beat two Jeopardy champions. And at that point, suddenly AI that looks always sometimes in the very, very far future start to look as if maybe that far future is not so far as we used to think. And I start thinking more about what are the societal consequences of this technology that we have been deploying. And I started kind of personalizing, thinking more what are my social responsibilities. And I'll come back to it in a few minutes. So why are we here? So this is now, if you show anyone this picture, or at least anyone that I talk to, everybody recognizes this is the Google car, and this is going to be the autonomous driving, the driverless car, the automated car, however you want to call it. And many people think this would be the best thing since sliced bread, because if anything else, it has the potential to save more than 1 million lives per year, people who get killed in car crashes every year. But then you see this picture. This is 3 years old, but I don't think this thing has changed much. And this shows in every state the most common job. And in more than half the states, the job with the largest number of people is a truck driver. So if you look at the totality of people who kind of drive for a living, we're talking about 4 million people in the United States, give or take. If you look at people for whom driving is a major component of their job, now we're talking about 15 million people. So you think, oh, this technology can save life, but it may have huge impact on labor. Now the standard answer that economists will tell you, nothing to worry about. Technology always destroys some job, but it creates new jobs. Everything works out in the long run. Wow. The question is, how long is the run going to be? So we can look at what happened in manufacturing. So this is what happened in manufacturing. So you might, by just listening to the political discourse, think that there's no more manufacturing in the United States. But this is just far from the truth. We are actually now manufacturing more than we've ever manufactured. And if you look at the line, the red line, manufacturing has been going up always, of course, with some zigzags, economic zigzags. But manufacturing employment picked up around 1980, and it's been essentially going down since. We have lost about 8 million jobs in the last 30 years. So remember what the economy says, everything will work out in the long run. So how well has it been working out? We'll come back to it in a minute. Well, we know what's been driving manufacturing decline jobs. We're just simply more productive. There's been just doesn't require a lot of AI, just a lot of automation has been going into manufacturing, and you can see we have, in 15 years, we have essentially doubled productivity in manufacturing. And this is a still picture, but you can go and see videos of the Tesla factory where they turn the light on only so they can take pictures, because they don't need lights. This is called a dark factory floor. So now we can go and say, okay, the technology destroyed jobs, but surely created new jobs. So what happened to manufacturing employees? And the picture is actually not pretty. So if you look, for example, at white men with no college degree, and you look what happened to their income over the past, again, this is the past 40 years. Over the past 40 years, their actually real income has actually declined. So if we want to understand politics in this country, we have to understand people look at the whole generation of declining income, they are not happy, okay? And this is not surprising. Here is another thing that I find incredibly sobering. which is we hear a lot about how unemployment is incredibly low. It's just very, very close to 4%. But unemployment is the ratio of people who are not finding a job divided by people who are looking for a job. So it can go down in two ways. Either people find jobs or people stop looking for a job. And if you look at this is men at what's called prime age, 25 to 54. So it factors out education, it factors out even early retirement. And you see it's actually been going down now for 50 years. And if you stratify this by education, the picture is much grimmer for people with high school education or less. Then you find out for working class men, maybe 1 in 5 men is actually not working. And to me, this is just a astounding number that 1 in 5 men. This is what we hear about usually countries in some deep depression. And this is what's happening today to working class men in this country. And this is an interesting data point. This is about voting versus in metropolitan area with more routine jobs. And more routine jobs are the jobs that are tend to be more easily automated. And this is from 2012. This takes out politics, what happened now. This goes back to 2012. This is again the voting for Obama versus Romney. And you can see that the blue area tend to be the more innovative area, and the red area are the ones that are more routine jobs, and these tend to be automated, and there are more automation there and more consequences there. So let's talk about why we're having this meeting. So this meeting is run by the Computing Research Association, and their mission is to enhance innovation by joining with industry, government, academia, to strengthen research and advance education in computing. And you're all welcome to look at CRA.org. And this is an organization that I've been involved with now for many years. And specifically, the mission is to engage the computing research community to provide trusted, non-partisan input to policy thinkers and makers. And this organization sits here in Washington, D.C. and exists for 40 years by now. Anybody knows how long it's been around?
50.
50 years, Mazel Tov. So now typically, if you look, you can go and look at their website and you can see many, many events, and most of the events tend to be with some strong technical focus, because that's where our core expertise is. This event is kind of pushing a little bit pushing the envelope what CRA does. And one question is why is CRA talking about jobs? And you'll see most of the talks today will not be about technology. There will be one technology talk, but most of the talks will be much broader in scope. And so that goes back to the issue, I think, of social responsibility. Voltaire said, with great power comes great responsibility. I think you can go all the way back to somewhere in Jesus maybe said it, but Voltaire, I think, is a good source. And the feeling is here that the people who are involved here, that we created this technology, we have some responsibility for the consequences, and we don't necessarily come up with the solution. Our first speaker is here, so I'm delighted. We don't necessarily come up with the solutions, but we at least should be conveners and participate in this very important societal conversation. I want to thank all our sponsors, first and foremost, Arnold Porter, Kay, and Scholler. Where's Charlie? Thank you very, very much. And then we have the Association for the Advancement of Artificial Intelligence, the Association for Computer Machinery, ACM, Special Interest Group on AI, the Computer Research Association, Future of Life Institute, who gave us a grant to hold these events, and many other sponsors, Google, IEEE Computer Society, Microsoft Research, Rice University, 2 Sigma Usenik Association, and VMware. Thank you all very much. Just a few items on logistics. The event is live streamed. The camera is focused on the speakers, but if you're going to ask a question, you'll be recorded. So please take into account. There is a guest network, which is open. And even though we hope that you'll spend most of your time not looking at Facebook, but listening to our fantastic speakers. If you're going to tweet, please use the handle ~CRA tweet and the hashtag Future of Work. We have packed 2 days meeting into 1 day. The only way we can get out of here on time and hear everybody is if we stay on time. For the speaker, there is a timer right there, and it's your countdown timer, and please stay on time. If you finish a little earlier, we have 5 minutes between speakers for Q&A and switching. All the presentations are uploaded, so we can be very efficient. If you finish a little early, we have more time for discussion, and we will be running here today until late in the evening. So enjoy the day, welcome, and I look forward to our first speaker.